is up, everybody, and welcome into episode number 8 of The Jammies. We got one hell of a show for you. We have so much music to get into. It's only been a month, but somehow I have been able to curate through and just find what feels like an infinite amount of music to talk about. It's actually almost daunting to look at this 6-page Word document that I have that is going to be going over returning artists. We have brand new artists to talk about. We have a list of 7 saucy singles, all from different artists, so it's really going to be one hell of a ride. I think you're going to have a boatload of new music to get you right through the summertime here. Not only are we going to be sharing a whole lot of music today, we're actually going to be showcasing some music today with our second ever artist showcase. We had Noah Richardson share some music with us on a previous episode. Nicole Alexis just released a new single called Pick Your Poison. We're going to be showcasing that at the end of the show, so buckle up for all that and more. A little bit of housekeeping today. Make sure that if you want to know when the episodes drop, that you are following the Jammies podcast, as well as that notification bell is turned on. That's going to let you know that middle of the month when the episodes drop, usually on a Friday, you're going to be first to get all these great recommendations. If you have been listening into the Jammies, I would love to know what music you've been checking out, what music you've been enjoying that's been recommended on the show. Also, if you have any recommendations for music that you think that I might like, definitely let me know. I'd love to have it be more of a community setting of I'm sharing music, other people are sharing it back to me, and we can just build the best playlist that we can. Also, if you wanted any of your music showcased on the Jammies, please do reach out. Again, we're going to have Nicole Alexis's brand new single, Pick Your Poison. That's going to finish the show off, and that's what I'm talking about. If you want to email me or reach out to me at any of my socials, let's start a conversation and let's get your music on the show. If you want to reach out via email, it's going to be at thejammiesshow@gmail.com. That is the Jammies is JAMMIES show SHOW @gmail.com. Otherwise, you can reach out. I'm on TikTok and on Instagram as MattyWitha. It's MattyWitha. That's an old handle that is still sticking with me, so I'm not the Jammies everywhere. I am MattyWitha at a couple other places, so do reach out on TikTok, Instagram, or at that Gmail. And again, let's start a conversation. If it's just music that you recommend or music that you've been enjoying that has been recommended to you, or if you're an artist out there that wants your music showcased nice and early on the Jammies history, let's start up that conversation. Let's get it going together. All right, last thing for housekeeping, if you needed help spelling any of the artist names, albums, or singles that I go over, just check the timestamps. It's going to be nice and typed out, easy to just copy and paste into search bars, and be able to find all this music that we're talking. So that is all the housekeeping that we have. I think I burned through it quicker than normal, I believe. We'll see when it comes down to the editing, but let's get into this list because it's a lot. So we're going to start with a couple projects that I've really been enjoying, stuff that I want to make sure to bring up and mention. The first we're going to talk about is the artist Bren. You guys maybe remember me talking about Bren in, I believe, episode 6 it was. Bren just keeps on releasing great music, so I'm going to keep on talking about it. Bren recently released a new EP called Upstate. That actually has 3 songs that were mentioned in that episode 6, 3 songs that I really, really enjoy. That is Days on End, Water, and Franklin House. All those songs are on this EP. I recommended actually all 3 of those songs as good starting places even for Bren in that episode 6. But on this Upstate EP, we got 3 brand new songs, and all 3 of them are great. The song Natural Disaster just keeps on working for me. It just keeps on growing on me. Man, it is a fantastic. Everything that Bren makes just seems to be incredible. I love the way that he is able to build the music up and just belt it out. It's everything I love with different folk music, so Bren, keep up the great work. The other song is IWBTOTSY, which I believe is I Want to Be the One to Save You. And then Upstate is another song on that Upstate EP. So those are the 3 new songs. Again, all are really good. And if you haven't listened to any Bren at all, then it's going to be a great starting spot with 3 songs already recommended, 3 new ones. So a great new 6-song EP that hopefully will get a lot of listens for Bren. Next up is a EP by the band Auburn. Auburn is AUBURN. This EP is called Love Lotus. Love Lotus released on May 9th. Really great new EP from Auburn. They actually only had 2 songs out before 2025. And this is the first that I've heard of them, is just stumbling into this 5-song EP that they released. The first song on the EP is called Echoes. I think that's probably the best song on there, but I do recommend sticking with the entire EP if you enjoyed that first one. They almost have a Backseat Lovers vibe to them, but also a little bit of Hall Pass in it. It's definitely some good indie rock, though, and would go great in some playlists with both those bands. I have noticed that it's not necessarily a band that I have shuffled into a lot of playlists, but I do really enjoy listening to the EP front to back. So listening through these 5 songs, it all sounds great together. I feel like it keeps you in that space for just long enough. It's got a 21-minute runtime, so yeah, I definitely recommend the band Auburn and their latest EP, Love Lotus. These guys are sitting at less than 1,000 monthly listeners on Spotify right now. And again, this project's pretty recent. It came out in May, so go support Auburn. They're a great new band, and I think they deserve more people to be listening to their music. So, as mentioned, there's just so much music that there is to go over, but there was just so much music to get through. I set some pretty high expectations last week, or I guess last episode, with just how many albums were coming out and how many projects I was gonna try to get through. And let me tell you, work was a bit crazy over the past couple of weeks. It was hard to get through as much music as I wanted to get through, so a lot of different stuff. I got to listen to it maybe once all the way through, possibly twice all the way through, and just kind of had to move on to something else, or just didn't get a chance to get back to it, or maybe it's because some other artists really stole the spotlight and I couldn't get enough of certain ones that we'll talk about in a little bit. I do want to mention these projects, though, because it is something that I brought up last episode. I'd like to bring it up again and not just leave it sitting in the ether of episode 7. Again, these are some projects that I have only listened through maybe once or twice, but again, just want to mention that new Mount Joy album came out on May 30th, and it's called Hope We Have Fun. I've literally only been able to listen to this one time. I'd like to get back to it at least once or twice more, see if there's a couple songs that I want to save from that one. But all in all, the first listen was pretty good. There was another album that came out by the band Spacey Jane. That album was called If That Makes Sense. It came out on May 9th. I've been able to listen to this one, I think, twice all the way through. It's got a lot of good music on it, and we'll be talking a little bit more about Spacey Jane and a song on this album in the Saucy singles, so we'll save it for then. We also had Uncle Strut's new album. It's called Home at Last. I've had a chance to listen to that one once or twice. I think that Uncle Strut album, Home at Last, has some decent stuff on it, but I just haven't been able to get back to that one as well. We will be talking about Uncle Strut kind of in a random context of Saucy singles in a little bit. I think it was after I was done listening to the album that maybe it shuffled in another Uncle Strut song that I don't think I had heard before. And we'll talk about that one during the Saucy singles as well, so maybe not from Uncle Strut's new album, but we'll at least be talking a little bit more Uncle Strut in a second here. We also had Winya, that's Winyah. I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it, Winya. They released a new album called Lot to Learn, and they're actually already working on a new EP that's going to be coming out this year as well. So I haven't had much time for this new album, but the one song that I have in my liked playlist is the song Thread. That one's a great one, so I think there's definitely a chance that there's more to delve into with Lot to Learn, that album by Winya. But again, all of these ones just haven't had all the time in the world for. Last one to mention, my buddy Derek actually recommended an artist named Charmer, so that's Charmer. He recommended them. I was able to listen through their first 2 albums, and I really enjoyed what I was hearing. I'd like to be able to get back to this one as well. And if I am able to get back to any of these artists and any of these projects, I'd love to talk a little bit more in depth on all of them. Hopefully I'll have the time. We'll see if other music just consumes me, as it often does. But a lot of projects that, again, I wanted to at least bring mention to. So we had Hope We Had Fun by Mount Joy, that's a new album. We had If That Makes Sense by Spacey Jane, a new album. We had Uncle Strut's new album, Home at Last. We had Winyah's new album, Lot to Learn. And we had the band Charmer by my buddy Derek's recommendation. So if you guys have time, do go listen to any of that stuff. But the other thing that I will mention is if you're really enjoying any of those projects, do let me know and let me know what songs, kind of how I lay it out with, here's 1 or 2 great songs that I recommend checking out at the top end. And then if you want to deep dive further, here's maybe 4 or 5 songs. I would love if you guys are enjoying that music. Let me know what you would recommend out of those ones at the highest level, and then maybe I can dive in a little bit deeper into those. So that is a quick run through of just a whole bunch of projects there. Alrighty, let's jump into the artist to mention, and as we've mentioned a lot of artists already, these are the ones that I've really been able to deep dive, listen to every single one of their songs, really curate through the songs that I absolutely love the most, and share that with all of you. Again, there's been just so much music to listen through. I've said it a couple times, I'm going to continue to say it, but this next band that we're going to talk about, I always had time for this band. I always wanted to cue them up. If I was like on Spotify, I need something to listen to, it was let's run through these 2 EPs I'm going to talk about and a couple singles by the band Vision Arcade. So Vision Arcade is Vision space Arcade. I absolutely love this artist. They're just super chill, love the singer's voice. The bassist is fantastic, can really hear the bassist in most, if not every song. There's some great guitar work, as well as the drummer just keeps everything nice and smooth. Alright, so let's dive into some actual songs and projects by Vision Arcade. I'd really love to recommend the full 2 EPs that they have out, because I truly do think that they're worth your time. If you needed a top level, just let's check out Vision Arcade. What do they got to offer for me? The top 2 songs that I'd say to check out would be the song Lone Star and then the song Eyes. Those are probably the 2 best out there. So Lone Star was the first song that I ever heard by Vision Arcade. Saved it right away. Kept on queuing it up, and then luckily was able to deep dive into their music. Didn't miss out on just a whole catalog of great stuff. So was really enjoying their music, and then the song Eyes I was listening to on the big speakers that I have in my media room, and man, all of a sudden I was just like, holy hell, is this a fantastic song. It is. I'm going to call it, I'm going to say it, Eyes by Vision Arcade. It's a banger. I know. But it keeps on rising. It never has a dull moment in the whole song. And I absolutely love the drummer on this song. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know shit about drums, but whatever he's doing, loving it. So Lone Star and Eyes by Vision Arcade. It's kind of top level if you need just 2 songs to queue up to get an idea as to what band you are about to hopefully fall in love with, like I have. Those are going to be the top starters, I'd say, for you. I'm going to recommend the full EP, She Ain't About It. This one came out November 7th of 2024. It came out in November. I'm going to be including this on the 2025's The Jammies Awards for sure. I know it's going to show up somewhere in the Jammies Awards because this EP, it just flows so well together. I can't say enough good things about the band and this EP specifically. It's 6 songs. I think 5 out of the 6 are just some of my favorite songs of the year, really. Some of my favorite songs by this artist, of course. Starts with She Ain't About It. Have had that one liked and just keep on queuing it up. This is a band that I just kept on queuing up. And I'd start it from the top of this EP with She Ain't About It. Goes to Craze, Follow Me, Lay Alone is probably the only one that I'm a little iffy on. And then you got Spaceman, and then it actually finishes with that Lone Star song. And then I would go right into the other EP that they have out, which is called Weight of the Feeling. This one came out in 2023, but this 4 songs, I got every one of them liked. I have every one that, again, I just queue up those first, say, 5-6 songs, queue up the next 4 songs on this EP. This one's got Weight of the Feeling, Hey Honey. This one has that Eyes song that we have been talking about, and then it ends with Youthful Heart. Got a great guitar solo to end the whole EP itself. So that is about 9 songs that I recommend. Let's make it an even 10 and check out the song from 2021 called Tell Me Why. Fits that same type of vibe that they have going in these 2 other EPs. So that's 10 songs from Vision Arcade. I've listened through just about all their music quite a few times, but those are really the 10 that absolutely stuck with me and continue to listen to. They're a lot like... I feel like they're a lot like Young the Giant, and specifically Young the Giant's first album, who we've actually compared a band to previously. Young the Giant's first album, one of my favorite albums of all time, and a lot of Vision Arcade's music sounds a whole lot like that first album, just singer has a very similar vibe to them. If you don't know Young the Giant, or maybe that doesn't necessarily sell you fully, my other comparison for Vision Arcade is actually Kings of Leon, and Kings of Leon, one of my favorite bands of all time. I didn't necessarily put the pieces together until I was really thinking about how do I compare this. I got the Young the Giant one right away in my head just because the singer I feel like sounds a lot like it, but when I really think about it, they do sound a lot like Kings of Leon, and if you're a fan of either of those bands, all the more reason to go check out Vision Arcade. We're talking maybe 30 to 40 minutes queuing up all those songs, and it's just all going to treat you well. So that is Vision Arcade. Again, my recommendations would be the songs Lone Star and the song Eyes. If you have a little bit more time, I recommend the EP She Ain't About It. I also recommend the EP Weight of the Feeling. And if you need just a little extra, the single Tell Me Why. All that is just fantastic music. Highly, highly recommend the band Vision Arcade. If you couldn't tell, I am enthralled by this band. Again, I have been listening to a lot of music this month, and I can't get enough. I keep on queuing up Vision Arcade, so go check them out. Alright, next band. We have teased it in the previous episode. We teased it in the intro. We're going to be talking about Nikki and the Barn Boys. Right off the bat, I think anybody is going to notice that Nikki just has an incredible voice. You can hear it at any one of the songs, but I also feel like the drummer and the bassist are just carrying some songs just right along with her. The whole band is just great. They're all jamming out. I feel like there needs to be special attention paid to just how well they mix all their instruments together and just make it all sound just phenomenal. You'd think it'd be a band that just, the singer steals the show because of just how big and powerful the voice can be. But, man, really listen to some of these songs. And, again, fantastic bassist, fantastic drummer, just all around great music. They released an EP this year that actually came out April 25th. It's a 4-song EP. It's called Where Do We Go From Here? And it's hard for me not to just recommend this whole 4 songs to you. I would say if you're going to queue up this EP, and if you like any of it, I'm going to recommend some different songs for a deeper dive into Nikki and the Barn Boys. A lot of stuff that I've truly been loving. But let's get into this EP, Where Do We Go From Here? Again, I'm going to recommend this EP to anybody looking for a powerful new band. From start to finish, this EP is just 4 great songs. You got, again, powerful singer, amazing drummer and bassist. You got solid guitar throughout it. It really has 3 of my favorite songs by Nikki and the Barn Boys. That's Sacramento, Fall In, and Drowning. The EP also has their number 1 song on Spotify, which is Strawberry Hill. So those 4 songs, again, 3 of my favorites by the artist, really, and then the top song on Spotify. So clearly, people are really liking that Strawberry Hill one as well. So if you check out those 4 songs, don't sleep on a lot of other great ones as well. They released a single with 3 songs on it back in 2022. It's actually the first thing that they've posted on Spotify, and one of the songs on there is called Thunder. So along with that song Thunder is the song, it's just called Song 3. That one's really good as well. You got songs called Understand, 2 a.m., and Drive, Push Me. Those are all going to be some kind of deeper dives into Nikki and the Barn Boys that are high recommendations for me. Some of the songs are a little bit longer, but they ebb and flow, and they always pay off in the end. Understand just has a crazy drum solo, just crazy drums in it, and then just has a great guitar solo to end the song. The song Fallen on that EP, stick around to the end of that one because the way that the singer holds with the instruments of the song, and just, man, the last minute and a half of Fallen, if I remember correctly, is just it's one hell of a ride. So Nikki and the Barn Boys also have an album that came out in 2023. The album's called Complicated Love. It's got some good stuff on it. I've listened to it front to back a couple of times. The song Drive, Push Me, is actually on that album there. So the album Complicated Love, there's 2 different singers there. There's Nikki and then one other singer, and they kind of maybe trade off, maybe do a little bit more duet stuff. There's still some that are just Nikki that she's singing, belting it out. All I'll say is that while Complicated Love has some good stuff on there, I'm happy with the direction that they seem to be taking with this latest EP in April. Again, I'm going to recommend the whole EP, Where Do We Go From Here, by Nikki and the Barn Boys. If you want a little bit deeper dive, check out the songs Thunder, Song 3, Understand, 2 a.m., and Drive, Push Me. So that is Nikki and the Barn Boys. Go check them out. They are going to smack you in the face with some lovely music. One last note on Nikki and the Barn Boys. I forgot to spell it out in the beginning. So it is Nikki and the Barn Boys. Barnboys. I could not get that out. So Nikki and the Barn Boys. I feel like any artist that's going to have just a longer title or the word and in it, I don't know. You got Richie Mitch and the Coal Miners. You got Axe and the Hatchet Men. You got all these amazing bands that if you have an and in your name, I'm going to check out your music because it seems to be like a 90% hit rate for me that these bands have been working for me. So Nikki and the Barn Boys, that's the last I'll say on them. Let's move on to the next one. And the next one is going to be the artist Jonah Kagan. Jonah is Jonah, Kagan, Kagen. I have been able to listen through Jonah Kagan's music, maybe once or twice all the way through. I have a couple saved onto a playlist, but we are going to be talking about two songs in particular that I just absolutely love. It's the reason that Jonah Kagan is on this list is because of these two songs. One of them is called Same Wind. It's a great song. Never stopped jamming to that one. But what could have almost been a saucy single if I didn't think that there was actually more potential here is the song Don't You Give Up On Me Yet. And it honestly might be the best damn song I've heard all year. Just a beautiful, powerful song. It's gotten me choked up multiple times. I mean, please make it through this whole song. The last refrain, just him closing it out, and then it just flips all of a sudden, and then there's just this banjo solo, which, I mean, banjo solo, I don't know if that really is, like, compelling to a lot of people out there, but just trust me on it, it just switches to just that, and just him closing it out with just this amazing voice. Again, it's in the running for the Jammies' best song of the year. Can't wait to talk about this one more, maybe come December. And that's what I got to say about Jonah Kagan. You got the song Same Wind, and you got the song Don't You Give Up On Me Yet. I think that there's a chance that I'll be talking a little bit more about Jonah Kagan if I have the time to deep dive into his music. Again, I think about 6 or 7 songs saved by Jonah Kagan that I just haven't been able to get around to, but when I was queuing up different songs, listening at the end of my night, after a long day, man, Don't You Give Up On Me Yet was just really something special. Alright, next up, we gotta talk about Caamp, because, man, I set some high expectations for myself and any of the viewers out there for Caamp and what was a segment called Music Homework that I started up last episode. And just like in college, man, it was so often the case that I did not get all of my homework done. So here we are. Music homework was supposed to be that I was going to listen to each and every Caamp album that they have out there, which was 3 before June 6th. But I was supposed to listen through those, maybe have some thoughts, feelings, and some songs to recommend if you had never jumped into Camp's music. From those 3 albums, I recommended some songs from Caamp that I already knew and loved. In last episode, I'm not going to be able to go through in depth on their first 3 albums because, again, I had time to listen through them once, so I guess technically you could say I did my homework, but at the same point in time, could I do a presentation on it? No, God no. But their latest album, again, came out June 6th. That was called Copper Changes Colors. We've been hyping this one up. We've been ready to go for it. Excited to listen into it and check things out once it dropped. We've had a couple of weeks with it now, and I gotta say, it's got some really great music on it. Probably consistently my favorite album by them front to back. And really just a solid lineup of songs that I'll save and have in playlists ongoing from here on out. There's really just a solid list of songs on here that I'm going to recommend 4 of them from that album, Copper Changes Color. They're my favorite songs on it so far. We got the song that opens the album, Millions, the song Mistakes, the song Living and Dying and In Between, and the song Drive. Living and Dying and In Between and Drive actually end the album. They're just a little bit softer, and they're beautiful songs. Living and Dying and In Between. Maybe not the song for every day, but it is probably my favorite song on the album. It is just so pretty, so beautiful. Love that one. When I was listening through some of the older albums that they have, I just feel like this 4th album is a little bit more consistent, and it's a little bit more for everybody, you know? I feel like the Lumineers really make songs that could be enjoyed by anybody. I feel like this 4th album is right along those lines of very enjoyable, very clean, and again, the last 2 songs on there I feel like are almost a little different than a lot of the music that I've heard from Caamp. That Living and Dying and In Between and the song Drive, I just feel like I haven't necessarily heard those types of songs by Caamp, and I'm happy they came out with them. I think they should lean into that a little bit more. Just as myself as a fan of them, that's kind of what I'd be searching for. But again, Millions, Mistakes, Living and Dying and In Between, and Drive, those are the 4 that I really recommend off the album, but I think you can listen to it front to back and have a great time with it. So Caamp, great job with the new album. My sister and her husband are also loving that one as well. Every time I get to talk about music with my sister, we usually are talking about Caamp. I can't get any other band recommendations out of her, so we'll keep on mentioning sister and her husband for any time we are mentioning Caamp. They actually got to see him in Chicago on the day that the album released, and they put on a great concert is what I've been told. So again, keep up the great work, Caamp. Loving the new album. Alrighty, everybody, how we holding up? We got 2 more bands to talk about. We'll try to make it quick. We got 2 more bands, and then we have 7 saucy singles, so we're gonna cruise through these next 2. First band is Never Ending Fall. Never Ending Fall, I stumbled into them pretty recently, haven't had all the time in the world for it. I've listened through at least 1 or 2 albums front to back. I've picked up on some really great songs by them, some songs that make me feel I need to hear every one of their songs that they have out just in case. I don't want to be missing anything. The 2 best songs for me so far by Never Ending Fall is the song Taking It Slow and the song Slow Motion. The song Taking It Slow kind of reminds me of the band Quarters of Change. We got to mention Quarters of Change in the 2024 kind of wrapped episode early on in the podcast there. Quarters of Change, they had a song called T-Love. If you haven't heard T-Love, I do recommend that one as well. Throw it right along with a cue with the song Taking It Slow by Never Ending Fall. It's got me hooked in the same way. It's groovy, man. I don't know what else to say. It's groovy. It's great groovy rock. There you go. That's what I got for Never Ending Fall. Again, maybe a chance that we'll be talking deeper on this band as well as the next one. If I have some more time to... Man, how many times have I said this episode? If I have more time, I would love to dive deeper into some of these different artists and all the music that they have to offer, but I've been lucky, you know? I've been lucky to find so much great music already in 2025 alone. I mean, like, I'm going to have to count up at the end of the year how many artists I recommended, all that good stuff. Anyways, Creature Canyon is the next band. That's out of nowhere. What a random band name too, but Creature Canyon. This is another band that just keeps on growing on me. At least with the couple songs that I have saved have really been growing on me there. This is another band that's listened through most of their music one time through, have a couple songs saved, liked, and queue them up. And really, towards the end of this month, Creature Canyon and really Never Ending Fall were 2 of the bands that were stealing a bit of time from bands like Vision Arcade. All of a sudden, we have a couple new songs sneaking in, and I wanted to queue these ones up, because I've really been digging the music lately. So, best songs for me from Creature Canyon. The song For You, released in February of 2025. A nice song, good lyrically, more of a happy song. And then you have the song Remarks and Faded Fire, which is both off of the same album. That's Creature Canyon. You got the song For You, Remarks, Faded Fire. See what you feel about those 3 songs. And yeah, maybe we'll be talking a little bit more in upcoming shows about these 2 different artists, about Never Ending Fall and Creature Canyon. Hopefully I'll have more to recommend to you, but as of right now, we got those 5 songs there. Alright, I don't know if I should save the review of all the stuff that we talked about until the very end, or if I should kind of... Let's clear up a little bit before we get into 7 saucy singles. Right after this, let's dive into the recap. So we talked about Bren's new EP, Upstate. We talked about Auburn's new EP, Love, Lotus. We talked about a whole bunch of projects. I'm not going to go through all those again. If you need to, go back to all those different albums that we mentioned that had just recently come out. But we also talked about the bands Vision Arcade, Nikki and the Barn Boys, Jonah Kagan, Caamp and their latest album, Copper Changes Color. Talked about Never Ending Fall. We talked about Creature Canyon. Man, what a list of artists this month. For sure, Vision Arcade I've never talked about before. Auburn I've never talked about before. Nikki and the Barn Boys haven't actually talked or delved into it yet. Jonah Kagan's brand new to me. Never Ending Fall and Creature Canyon both brand new to me. So how much great music do I have just filling all these playlists for the summertime? It's a beautiful thing, and I hope you all enjoy all those different artists as well. To go along with all that big, beautiful music, we are going to dive into our saucy singles. Saucy singles, I think, is nice. It's a way to just, here's the list, cue it up, see what you like out of it. Might jump around different genres, might give you a lot of different bands. I mean, we're talking about 7 different bands right now, so let's just get into it. Saucy singles. Dog Park, we talked about them in the past. Man, I'm happy as hell to have all these amazing bands coming into my life, because the more bands you find, the more bands that you really get into, the more you just get your release radar on Friday, and ooh, look at that, a new song from Dog Park. It's amazing. It's fantastic. It's just another song that I get to add into this library of fantastic music. So, Dog Park and their latest single, Far Away From You. This one came out on June 6th, and it honestly might be my favorite Dog Park song out of all of them so far. So, highly recommend the song Far Away From You by Dog Park. Good rock, great singer, really clean vocals. Go check that one out. Next saucy single we are talking on is the song No One Wants to Die Alone, specifically the acoustic version by Benjamin Steer. Steer is Steer. So Benjamin Steer, I did listen through all their music. I really, really am digging this specific one. It's right along the lines of kind of that Bren artist that we've been talking about. It has just jammy, like hard-hitting acoustic guitar. It keeps on building. The refrain's great. You almost build on the refrain and just hit it harder each time. It's a great mix, again, to add into maybe a Bren playlist or a Michael Marchese playlist there. And I'm looking forward to more by this artist. They have released some songs that are acoustic versions. So far, I really like this one lyrically, and it's working for me the best because of that. Hopefully more by Benjamin Steer eventually. I do want to just mention one little thing in No One Wants to Die Alone, the acoustic version. It's got just this little mini evergreen vibe. See if you can catch it. The song by Richie Mitch and the Coal Miners, Evergreen, blew up on TikTok. See if you can kind of, catch the same thing that I'm hearing, and let me know if you find that one in No One Wants to Die Alone, specifically the acoustic version by Benjamin Steer. Next up in saucy singles, here comes Spacey Jane again, and this one is actually on that latest album of theirs. It's the song I Ly the Most, which is I Love You the Most. This is the song that's really grabbed hold of me so far throughout their whole album. It's the one that I have saved individually and have been queuing up quite a bit. It's a nice, sweet, lyrical song. Me and my wife were actually listening to Spacey Jane. We had the song Feeding the Family actually was, I believe, on our wedding playlist there. So that's kind of how I know Spacey Jane. That song alone was enough for me to save them as an artist and check out this full album just because of that one song, Feeding the Family. So I Love You the Most. We were listening to it and I was like, I feel like Spacey Jane's lead singer sounds like some country artist that I've heard enough times, but I couldn't quite spot it. So me and my wife were listening to the song I Love You the Most by Spacey Jane. She nailed it right away. It's actually, they kind of sound like Shay from Dan and Shay. My wife was saying specifically maybe like the older songs that Dan and Shay had come out with. So see if you pick up that same kind of vocal quality there that Shay has from Dan and Shay in the different Spacey Jane songs that you might queue up. Again, that whole album I'm looking forward to getting back to, but for now, we're going to recommend the song I Love You the Most. Again, it's I-L-Y the Most. Go check that one out by Spacey Jane. Definitely worth your time. Whoa, that's kind of strange, actually. I must have read this and then just subconsciously said it, but now I can't even make a joke about it because the next song, it's worth your time. I'm just going to make the joke anyways. The next song is really worth your time. It's called Worth My Time by Tyne-James Organ. So it's Tyne-James space Organ. I think it's Tyne-James Organ. We're gonna go with that. Again, the song is called Worth My Time. It's got a slow build for like 40 seconds that you wouldn't anticipate the song switching the way that it does just based on that first 40 seconds, but once you get past it, it turns into a really like funky, groovy song. Like there might even be some like saxophone just in the background there that's really hitting. This song is on The Other Side, an album that came out May 16th. I have not been able to check out the full album yet of Tyne-James Organ here, but maybe, if this one keeps on being queued up by me, maybe we'll have to check out the full album and maybe we'll have a little bit more to mention by Tyne-James Organ. For now, check out the song Worth My Time. Make sure to get through that first 40 seconds and hear the switch up. Alright, cruising right along. Couple more saucy singles here. Next one up is Back for a While by the band Harvey Street. Harvey Street is Harvey Street. This one kind of starts out, the singer almost sounds a little country, makes the music sound a little bit more country style, but again, the song kind of shifts around the minute and 15 second mark, right around that minute 15 seconds, and it builds into the reason that I recommend the song in the first place here. It ends up being a really good rock song with some nice piano before it just goes full into the guitar and the drums, and a little bit of guitar solo work. Drummer keeps up with the guitar very nicely as well. So Back for a While by Harvey Street. That's going to be another one that you can just queue up, see what you think of it. Again, maybe make it through that first minute or so and see how you feel. Next up, saucy single called Remedy by The Band Friday. The Band Friday, all one word, THEBAND. Okay, I'm not going to have to spell The Band Friday. Again, it's The Band Friday, but it's all one word. And that song is called Remedy. Another slower acoustic song. I don't think all their music necessarily sounds like this, but I do really like this one. I think the band Friday, I maybe listened to their top 5 songs or so, but the song Remedy, I believe, came up in a shuffled list of songs there, and Remedy has been a great one for me. I feel like the song kind of keeps on changing throughout it. It's got a great bass of guitar that kind of stays the same, but the lyrics keep on building, changing. Singer just has this nice feathery voice over the top of the melody. It's a great one. I hope that there's a little bit more to digest from the band Friday. I love to hear recommendations. If you know of them, let me know. And lastly, for the saucy singles, we're going to have a real quick one here. It's The Contract by 21 Pilots. It's too early on this one. I've listened to it maybe 2 times. I'm not going to listen to it all too much. I'm the type of person that if I know I'm going to listen through a full album by one of my favorite artists, 21 Pilots definitely being one of my favorite artists of all time. They have an album coming out. It's called Breach. It's supposed to be coming out in September. I know I'm going to want to listen through that whole thing, so I'm not going to grind any of those singles into dust. So we're going to leave The Contract alone for now. We've heard it twice. We like what we're hearing, and we're very much looking forward to that new album in September. Speaking of upcoming albums, now that we have finally wrapped up the saucy singles, the upcoming album, it's actually going to be out on the same day that this episode is releasing. It is Benson Boone's new album called American Heart. Again, it releases June 20th of this year, so if you're listening to The Jammies, that means that Benson Boone's new album is out. I'm sure a lot of people know that already, and many more people know that Benson Boone's album is out than know that the 8th episode of The Jammies is out, but hey, we still gotta mention it. It's something that I'm gonna work my way through. I definitely like some Benson Boone songs here and there. So yeah, Benson Boone's new album, American Heart. Let's check it out, and I'm sure we'll maybe mention it at the very least, and unless it hooks me in, then maybe we'll be talking a lot more about it in next episode. Alright, holy cats, How much music is too much music to recommend in one show? Let's go through it one more time. We had Upstate by Bren! Exclamation point. That's why I say it like that, if you didn't catch the joke in episode 6. Love Lotus, a new EP by Auburn. We had a whole list of albums. We had the artist Vision Arcade, the artist Nikki and the Barn Boys, artist Jonah Kagan. We had Camp's new album to talk over. We went over the band's Neverending Fall and Creature Canyon. We got through saucy singles from Dog Park, their latest Far Away From You. We had No One Wants to Die Alone, specifically the acoustic version by Benjamin Steer. We had I Love You the Most by Spacey Jane. We had Worth My Time by Tyne James Organ. We had Back for a While by Harvey Street. We had Remedy by the band Friday, all one word. And we just mentioned The Contract by 21 Pilots. Man, if you don't have anything to listen to after this episode, I don't know what to tell you. You might need a new music recommendation channel because maybe our taste is not aligned, but I think there's a lot for a lot of different people out there. Again, if you've made it through this whole episode, or if you've made it through any of the previous ones, if you've listened to all 8 of the episodes, very much appreciate it. We clearly have some similar music tastes if you're making it through these whole episodes here. This one maybe potentially being the longest one, I don't know, after the edit, or I guess before the edit. Finally, we have our artist showcase. Again, the second ever artist showcase, this one being Nicole Alexis. Nicole actually she has a fan account, I believe, on TikTok that reached out to me. They transferred the message over to Nicole, and we're lucky enough to have her latest single, Pick Your Poison, right here on the Jammies. So Nicole's been releasing music, it looks like, since 2022, at least to Spotify. We have it since 2022. Probably 15 plus songs out there right now. I feel like her earlier music was maybe more of like a Taylor Swift type of music. I feel like this latest one that she released, Pick Your Poison, is a bit of a pivot, but I'm all for it. It's actually my favorite song by her that I've heard so far. Again, it's called Pick Your Poison. She's categorizing it as maybe grunge pop. It's under her Spotify bio, it says, blending the energy of a 90s, 2000s alternative with modern pop. I think that this song, Pick Your Poison, definitely deserves that description there. Just wanted to say thank you so much, Nicole Alexis, for reaching out to the show. The Jammies is very grateful to have the chance to showcase your music here. Last couple of things really quick. Again, follow the show. Make sure notifications are on just to make sure that you are catching each and every episode of The Jammies, especially if you've been digging it. Why not make sure that you catch it right away, get that music queued up right away. If you have recommendations for the show, or if you've been listening to any of the music that has been recommended, let's start a conversation. I would love to know who you like, who you want to recommend to me, and who you've been listening to. It really means a lot that I'm not just talking blankly into a microphone, editing for hours and hours, and then nobody actually hears it. Do let me know what you've been checking out, or what you recommend me checking out. And lastly, like Nicole Alexis has done, reach out if you wanted any of your music showcased on the Jammies. Without further ado, take it away, Nicole Alexis and her latest single, Pick Your Poison.
Hey, what's up, Jammies? It's Nicole Alexis, and you're listening to Pick Your Poison.
Too deep, been coming down for like a week. I stay inside, locked in my bed. Maybe I'd feel better then, 'cause I'm avoiding tuning out all of the voices in my head. I know they'll be back again to tell me, pick your poison. They love the damage you do. All my choices, they lead right back to you. You're the bottle on my lips, the smoke between my fingertips. They say, pick your poison. Mine is you. Mine is you. Words are rolling off your tongue, and I crave them like a drug. Could cut you off with kitchen scissors, but I've never been a quitter. There's so many ways to numb the pain. They say, pick your poison. They love the damage you do. All my choices, they lead right back to you. You're the bottle on my lips, the smoke between my fingertips. They say, pick your poison. Mine is you. Mine is you. 'Cause you're the bottle on my lips, the smoke between my fingertips. They say, pick your poison. Mine is you.
One last thank you to Nicole Alexis for having her music showcased on the Jammies. That's all we got for this month's episode, so do again reach out. It's at thejammieshow@gmail.com. Besides that, have a great rest of your day. Have a fantastic 4th of July, and keep on jamming.